Well, greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of The Emerging Composer, where I talk about all things music nerdery. I'm your host, Paige Garwood, and today we're going to start to talk about the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths, I believe, is like the Rosetta Stone for musicians. If you understand the circle of fifths, you can use it to solve so many problems, so many questions, and it is a sound foundation for almost any music theory course you might ever want to take. It'll answer questions about key signatures, what notes get sharped or flatted in those key signatures. It'll answer the questions of how to build a major scale, therefore how to build any scale that's derived from the major scale, modes, pentatonic, minor scales. It'll also help you to identify the primary chords that are in any given key. I mean, there's a lot of information here. So, without any further ado, let's just jump right at it and let's get to the circle of fifths. Chapter 1, beginning to draw and use the circle of fifths. Step 1, we got to draw the circle of fifths first. You should be able to draw this by memory. So we're going to start off with a circle. Remember, it's called the circle of fifths, not the octagon of fifths. So just draw a circle. There you go. Then you're going to do what I call putting in the sniper scope. You put in a little straight line at the edge of the circles at the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock position. Step 3, put 2 lines in between each of those lines that you just drew. You're going to end up with the 12 points of a clock face. Now, why didn't I just say put in the 12 points of the clock face in the first place? I thought the sniper scope thing was funny. Lighten up, Francis. It's okay. However you get to it, a circle that should have a spot for every spot on the clock dial is what we're looking for here. Then, once a circle is drawn, we put a dotted line from the top to the bottom, effectively splitting the circle into 2 halves. And then on the right-hand side, starting with 0 at the top, we number 1 through 6, just like a clock dial, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3, 4, 5, and 6 o'clock. And then you go to the top again, and starting with 1 click to the left, we're going to number 1 through 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is already there. Now, just to the left of the C is the letter F. I've got it circled there. Beginning with the left F, remember, fat boys eat all the grapes. Notice the first letter of each one of those words is the letter that follows around the clock, starting with F. F, B, E, A, D, and G. And remember to put a flat symbol after all the letters except F. F doesn't have one. Some things you just have to memorize. So, from F, the 1 o'clock position on the left, to the 6 o'clock position on the left, fat boys eat all the grapes. Put flat symbols next to B, E, A, D, and G. Now, these are all the keys that have flats in them. The number within the circle tells you how many flats are in that key. The key of F has 1 flat. The key of G flat at the bottom has 6 flats. Now, look at the letter C. I got it circled in yellow in case I'm pretty sure everybody can read well enough to know that's the letter C. But starting with that letter C, going clockwise, remember that cats go down alleys eating biscuits, fighting. And again, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The first letter of each one of that little mnemonic. The first letter of each of the words of that saying are the names of the letters outside the circle. C at the top, G, D, A, E, B, and F. And at the bottom, you got to remember to put it sharp with the F. No quick way to remember that. You just have to remember it. Now, what I would do if I were you is I would practice drawing the circles of fifth. Be able to do it from memory. Here's what I would do when I was taking music classes. Whenever you have to take a test, you can't bring anything into the testing area with you. They supply you with blank paper and a pencil. So the first thing I did before I even opened up the test to look at it is I would draw the circle of fifths, because it's going to give me a ton of information, and it's a great reference tool for figuring out so many problems that you'll get, especially during the first 2 years of any college or high school music theory course. All right, well, if the keys to the left of the dotted line are the flat keys, the keys to the right are the keys that have sharps in them, the sharp keys. The key of G has 1 sharp. The key of E has, well, 4 sharps. Now, we know how many sharps and flats these keys have. What notes get sharp to flat? So glad you asked. Flats and sharps are going to appear in a very specific order. Very specific order. You won't have a key signature, for instance, that has just a G sharp in it. If the key has G sharp in it, it'll also have F and C. So when you see a key you see a key signature with 3 sharps, you know that F, C, and G are going to be the notes you're going to get sharp, but we'll cover more on that later. Also, notice the order of flats that they appear. It's exactly backwards from the order of sharps. If you remember, the order of sharps as being fat cats go down alleys eating biscuits, F, C, G, D, A, E, B, then all you have to do is reverse the order for the order of flats, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Or you could remember that boys eat all greasy cheese fries. I'm mildly dyslexic, so remembering tricks like this help me to remember strings of letters without messing them up too much. Now, let's put this to use. On your left, you see a key signature. How many flats do you see? Now, treble clef, bass clef. Notice I'm not asking you to tell me note names, letter names, lines, and spaces. Just count. How many flats do you see? 4. So let's look at the circle of fifths. This is a flat key, right? So we're on the left-hand side of the diagram. Find the number 4 on the inner part of the circle. What letter's next to that? A flat. Guess what key we're in? We're in A flat. Now this is where it's going to get kind of cool. This is going to be fun. At least it is for me. We are in the key of A flat. What notes get flats in this key? Excellent question. Look at the order of flats in the upper left there. What do you see? B, E, A, D, G, C, F, right? All right, well, how many notes get flats in this key? If you look down here, it's 4. A flat has 4 flats. So we go up and we find the first 4 letters of this order of flats, B, E, A, and D. Those notes are going to get flats. So let's put this together and make the A flat major scale. Write out their letter names from just A to A. Don't worry about flats or sharps yet. Just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Now remember, the musical alphabet goes to the letter G and then starts over again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. What notes get flatted? B, E, A, and D. So put a little flat symbol next to all those letters. B, E, A, and D. Look at that, your A flat major scale. Now, have I asked you to put any notes on a staff? Nope, not yet. That'll be useful information. We'll cover that later. But it's just right now you know that 4 flats, key of A flat, and B, E, A, and D are the flatted notes in that scale. A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, and A flat. Let's do a sharp key. How many sharps do you see here? I see 3. I can count to 3. So go to the right-hand side of the circle of fifths diagram, because that's where all the keys who have sharps live, and find the sharp key that has the number 3 next to it. And that would be A. What key are we in? We're in the key of A. Now we're going to do the same thing with the key of A that we did with the key of A flat. We're going to find out the notes that are sharped in the key of A. Well, what note gets sharps in this key? How many do we see? 3 sharps. Look at the order of sharps. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. The notes F, C, and G. There's 3 sharps. We take the first 3 letters in that list right there. Those are the notes that get sharped in this key. Write out your A scale. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Without regards to sharps or flats or nothing, just write the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and put the sharp symbol next to the letters that get sharps. F sharp. C sharp, G sharp, and there's your A major scale. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. So here's an exercise you can do. You can take a screenshot of this and put flats or sharps symbols next to the letters for the notes in each key below. I wrote the letter names for each scale, the G scale, the D scale, A, E, B, F sharp, and the F scale, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. Using what you've learned, figure out what notes get sharped or flat and write that symbol in next to those letters. These are your 12 keys. All right. That's a real quick primer, chapter 1, about how to build a major scale with the circle of fifths. Our next chapter, we're going to be talking about chords. It's going to be fun. Until then, this is Mr. G. I'm out of here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.